All right, well, welcome back. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. This is Farmer Dave, and by the way, that's Arnold, and he may interject his opinion. He's a rooster that we've raised since April. Anyway, back to the potatoes. We put in some very nice potatoes back in April. I think most of you saw that episode. And then about midway through August, we pointed out that the vines were starting to die on these potatoes, but we left them in the ground. And that's really a good thing. Sometimes folks feel that that'll help harden up the skins. We have really dry soil here. We have a lot of drought here this year. So we're going to take a look and see how these potatoes did. And I think you're going to be impressed. So let's dig down here and kind of pull some of these out. And you can see we got some dandies. Look at the size of that. These are Yukon Gold potatoes. And so now the question is, well, what do you do after you get it out of the ground? You're now talking about going to long-term storage. And one of the challenges, one of the debates out there is, should you wash your potatoes? I've done it both ways. I've washed them, and the key is if you do wash them, you absolutely must let them dry out completely, meaning on some cardboard, on some newspaper. Keep them out of the sun, but you need to let them dry and have a nice texture like this where it's smooth. Now you see on this one here, you can kind of see we got a little bit of scab going on, but it's not significant. Now on this potato here, this one here has had some sun. It kind of popped up a little early. That's called sunburn. You really don't want to eat that. You definitely don't want to eat the green part. What you can do is you can cut it off around here, and so that you can salvage a little bit of this, but I wouldn't recommend you store that potato. I think it's going to go bad a little quicker than the others because it's just not ideal. It's also got this green part here. Don't eat that. It's going to be bitter. Some people say it's poisonous. I've eaten it by accident. It just tastes bad. So we're going to go down and put some potatoes in the bucket here, and we're going to talk a little bit about what you do next, because that's key. You're going to want to put these away for the winter. Man, look at the size of that. That's a dandy. And so what do you do? What do you do? Because a lot of folks don't know what to do. And I'm going to show you when you put these away for winter, right here. I kind of use this to dramatize the message a little bit. One thing you don't do is right here. Don't put your potatoes in plastic. The plastic doesn't breathe. The ideal storage temperature for potatoes is 45 to 50 degrees, and keep them out of sunlight. Again, if you get sunlight on there, you're going to end up back to this. You can put them in a cardboard box if you want, but the key point is wherever you store them, it has to breathe. It has to have a little bit of air movement through there, and it has to be, a dark climate, something like that. So those are the key points I wanted to hit upon. I don't think I missed anything else, but we've got a pretty decent harvest here. If you remember, we put in some pretty good sized potatoes. Sometimes we cut them, sometimes we didn't. And this has given a really good yield off of just one potato. And by the way, save these little tiny ones here. These are excellent to cook. When I worked on a farm years ago, we used to throw them out, if you can believe that. We used to call them culls, and we wouldn't even keep them, but actually they're very good to eat. So anyway, that's Farmer Dave's update on the potato bed. Hit like and subscribe, and I hope you get something back out of this. I know a lot of folks out there have lost work. They need to have a lot of things to work with here this year going into winter to preserve their food and so forth, and we hope that this helps you. That's the point behind the video.